Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for a very overdue plan with me. I'm back in my bullet journal. I haven't been back in my bullet journal since September of last year, and I'm totally loving it right now. I changed up the style of how I did it a little bit and took a lot of inspiration from Jenny Journals. I'm sure a lot of you have watched her videos on YouTube. I was really excited for my cover page, but I don't exactly like how it turned out. Just this part that I'm painting here, I don't like. I was trying to make like a little wreath, and it really didn't turn out at all because I'm a very sucky artist. But other than that part, I think it turned out really, really good, and I'm really happy with how the other pages came out. And so if you guys like watching this, let me know, and I will do it for the coming months too. You'll see a lot throughout this video. I'm taking double-sided tape and just taping on pieces of a brown paper bag we had lying around that I ripped up, just to add some layers and textures, and I really love how it turned out. So sorry if you can hear my dog in the background too. She's actually sitting on my bed next to me as I'm recording this voiceover. Then I also printed out some pictures that I got off of Pinterest, and I just printed them on photo paper in my photo printer. And here I just tried to add some more depth to that wreath, whatever it is, and it just looked horrible, guys. I cannot paint at all. I'm not artistic at all, so for me to even have what am I trying to say, like, this bullet journal takes a lot of creativity, which I don't have, so I'm pretty proud of myself for the rest of it and how it turned out. I also experimented a lot with layering different kinds of washies together. That gold one is from, I want to say, Scotch. The yellow one is from Michaels, and then the succulent is from Hobby Lobby, and I think the other one under the succulent is from Michaels as well. These paints that I'm using too are from Michaels. I think it's the Artist Loft brand, I believe, and it was only $5 if I'm remembering right. The pen I'm using is just a Sharpie Ultra Fine. And here I started to outline some details on this little wreath, but the paint was still a little bit too wet, so I had to come back to it later. That little cactus sticker is from the Danish Planner Shop. I'll have her shop linked down below. The next page I'm moving on to after my title page is the important dates. So basically, instead of a calendar, I decided to do this in kind of a list form because I really don't have a whole lot going on since I'm home from college for the summer. That kind of florally green washi tape is from Michaels that they had in their little like loose bin, and the green one is from, I ordered it in a pack on Amazon. And then that one with the little like gold circles, I'm not sure where it came from. I got it in a swap. Then on the bottom, I wanted to add a couple little boxes to track some of my social media, so my YouTube growth and my Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll link it down below because I do share a lot of my spreads there. I just filled those in with a little bit of color, and I don't know why I didn't think about it, but it probably would have been easier just to use some of my Crayola super tips for this. But I was just having a lot of fun with the watercolors on this spread. I just love the texture that it gives to the pages and the depth that it adds. And then I'm erasing all of my pencil markings before I go and outline the header. Oh, and then here I'm just going back to that cover page try to make it look a little bit better, but I did not succeed in that at all. So hopefully, fingers crossed, next month's cover page turns out a lot better. Lastly, for this page, I'm just adding some washi tape to it to give it some more dimension. And then I'm moving on to my habit tracker. Usually in my other bullet journal spreads, if you have followed me on Instagram since last year, I do a mood tracker below it too. But this month I just wanted to play around and just try to see what works best for me again, in the hopes that I could actually stick to regularly bullet journaling instead of just doing it a couple days and then falling off. So I decided not to do the mood tracker. I was just going to do the habit tracker, and I was only going to stick with a few habits that were the most important to me and that I really wanted to stick with this month. Those little plant stickers that I'm adding are from Lauren's Lovely Lifestyle, or I think she actually changed her name to just Lauren's Lifestyle. I'll have her shop link down below. And then I'm just messing with layering different pictures together to see what I like best. Then I also decided to add some little doodles around the pages just to take up some space and add some different colors. Here I'm using a Crayola Super Tip marker. I love these markers because they come in so many different colors, but they do tend to bleed a bit, so off camera I kind of outlined the habit part that I wrote in because it started to bleed a little bit. And then at the top where I'm writing the numbers, I decided to stagger them because they weren't so smushed together. But for some reason, when I penciled them in in the wrong spot, so you can kind of see the pencil numbers, and I couldn't erase them over the watercolor. They were kind of stuck. On this next page, I'm adding in my sleep log. I've done two different styles for this, but I'm gonna try this one style where basically I just highlight like the little square grids for the hours that I sleep. So I meant to start from 7 p.m. because sometimes if I'm really tired or not feeling well, I go to bed at around 7 to 8 p.m. I meant to start it at 7, but I ended up actually starting it at 6. And then it got cut off camera, but I added a couple other little stickers on the habit tracker side that you'll see at the end, and it's from Sweet Bella it's XOXO Prints. So then I'm just adding a little piece of a scrap cardstock I had lying around to layer behind that picture. And of course layering some more washi tape over the top of it. Then I'm writing in my header, which I really wish I could learn like calligraphy better, but I just suck at it so bad. And then I wanted a watercolor effect at the top, but I always forget that the Crayola Super Tips bleed so bad, especially when you add water to them. So it kind of started to bleed, so I just kind of blended that brown that it was bleeding out across the top to kind of give it an ombre effect. That succulent sticker is from Paper Kumiko. I added another little doodle, and then in a couple minutes, you'll see I go back to the sleep log page and go over the header since it did bleed so much. And then on the back page, I used another piece of the paper bag just to cover up where it bled through onto the next page, and that actually worked out perfectly. So here I'm doing my expenses tracker. Sorry, I can't talk today. And I really like doing these because I can see really well what I'm spending money on and how much money I'm spending on, especially when I add in my income too, so then I can see like my debt to income ratio for each month, so how much I'm spending compared to how much I'm actually making, which I think is a great thing to do if you are on a tight budget every month. So the far left column, I just have a date, then I have details, so I put in like the store and what I purchased, and then I have a column for income, money coming in, and then I have a column for money going out, so money I'm spending. And then at the bottom I just put a total, but it got cut off on the bottom there a little bit. And here again is where I am, sorry if you heard my dog barking, but I just went over the sleep log title again like I mentioned before. And then for my last page, I'm starting my weekly trackers, which I do only do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the first part of the week. If you want to see pictures of the rest of it, you'll have to either wait until I do my September layout and do like a flip through of the rest of August, or follow me on Instagram because I'm sure I'll be sharing pictures and such on there. If you do follow me on Instagram, you can also help me vote for coming month's spreads. So I think I'm already gonna do like a sunflower theme for next month. People did vote for that yesterday, but I do polls on there all the time. So it's a great way to like participate and help me decide on what I do in my spreads. Succulent washi is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes because it has a paper backing, and I hate those because they always like roll apart and they're like a disaster, I swear. But I found a good little trick where if you like cut off extra backing than what you're using, so then the extra, like a lot of the extra, can stick to the whole roll. It tends to hold together a little bit better. Then here I had to flip back to the beginning where I did my key because I couldn't remember what symbols and stuff I had used for events and appointments, because like I said, it's been pretty much almost a year since I've used my bullet journal, and I'm definitely really liking this style a lot better. I feel like I can really just relax in it and not feel like everything has to be so perfect. So now I'm just flipping through and showing you guys how it all turned out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.